It was right about a year ago when the world finally got its hands on Bloober Team's Silent Hill 2 remake. This was Konami's first big attempt to bring the Silent Hill franchise back from a decade-long hiatus, and this game was probably the most important Silent Hill game in a very long time. A lot was riding on the success of Bloober Team's remake, and well, despite how negative the conversation around the game was prior to launch, somehow Bloober pulled it off and launched a great survival horror game and a good remake at that. One that I feel greatly honours the legacy of the original while modernising its gameplay. I recently sat down and took another look at Silent Hill 2 Remake, and for its 1 year anniversary, I thought I'd sit down with you all and talk about how the game has settled into the franchise these past 365 days. I'll be discussing what I like about the game, what I dislike, if any of my opinions have changed over time, and what Bloober Team could take from this game going into the remake of Silent Hill 1. So join me now as I look at Silent Hill 2 Remake 1 year later. There really was a lot riding on Silent Hill 2 Remake doing well. I feel like this game kinda decided the fate of Silent Hill coming back. And yes, I know both Silent Hill F and Townfall were announced alongside it, but I mean this when thinking beyond those two games, as well as the potential for more remakes to come. It all kinda depended on this game succeeding, and prior to launch, I mean from its reveal, people were not happy with Bloober Team making the game, which I understand, be cautious and all that, but truly people were out for blood with this one announcement. And as we would get more and more trailers, things actually started to look better and better, but in general, people were still cautiously optimistic. And well, in my humble opinion, Bloober Team absolutely delivered. The game is one of the highest reviewed Silent Hill games ever. As well as that, it sold 2 million copies as of January 2025. And to put that into perspective, prior to that the entire franchise had sold 9 million copies. So one game selling 2 million is a big deal. Now looking to the game as a remake, I feel like it did a great job at keeping the essence of Silent Hill 2's story. While yes, I do have some gripes with some characters' portrayals, such as Maria, I then, on the contrary, have nothing but praise for someone like James. And to continue on with James, his performance by Luke Roberts is incredible. He truly gave this character everything he had to give, and it's a highlight of the remake in my opinion. In general actually, every character was very well performed, and the cutscenes all have such a high level of production value. Now I've said this before on the channel, but the game has this Hollywood-esque level of performance, which is great, but I do feel like this kind of detracts from what made Silent Hill 2 Silent Hill 2. The original game's performances were kinda off at times and gave this otherworldly, dreamlike vibe, which wasn't really captured in the remake. And look, I get what they were going for, something different here, but you definitely feel the difference with characters like Maria, who I just personally feel were also mismanaged when writing. But to go back to James, for example, Luke Roberts' James Sunderland in the remake, and Guy Seehey's James Sunderland from the original, are two very different portrayals of this character, and initially I didn't understand this. For example, when I first saw the double pyramid head scene in the remake, I was actually disappointed, as that was my favourite scene from the original game, but I was expecting a one-to-one rendition when it wasn't that. So understanding that now, I grew to really like this and many other scenes. But Maria, typically I just couldn't. I like Remake Maria, she's grand, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I just didn't gel with her enough, I think. Bloober Team, in my opinion, also captured the atmosphere of Silent Hill 2 really well. From the dense fog to the game's incredible music, they did a great job, and that's in part due to the participation of series legends Akira Yamaoka and Masahiro Ito. They both assisted Bloober in their respective areas, and this was needed in my opinion. Instead of like a Bloober Team artist trying to replicate Masahiro Ito's designs or styles, the man himself got to do it, and even add some new details to these creatures 20 years later. And I don't know if I've said this before on the channel, but Masahiro Ito is an absolute legend and an icon, and I look up to him so highly. His designs are iconic, so getting to see these modern renditions of his work is such a treat. The same goes for Akira Yamaoka and his remix soundtrack. The OST of the remake is amazing. It keeps and remixes a lot of iconic songs while adding some entirely new ones that still invoke that Silent Hill atmosphere. Now the gameplay of the remake is what needed to be changed the most, going from the original game, since well, the original game is not known for great gameplay. And well, Bloober Team did a great job in my opinion. While in some early trailers such as the combat trailer, things did look a bit messy, but when the game got more development time and polish, and got into players' hands, we would see the best gameplay in a Silent Hill game to date. Combat feels great, the melee combat, while sometimes looking a little janky, mostly feels good. It's not overpowered and it feels very desperate. James isn't able to just instantly kill any enemy he wants, and especially on hard difficulty, every encounter feels like a desperate struggle for survival. And to pair with that, the firearm combat is also pretty good. Nothing mind blowing, but it's serviceable and pairs well with the melee combat. As well as that, they also added a dodge mechanic, which also fitted very naturally into this game. And overall, this improved gameplay made this game really fun to play. Now mind you, the original isn't bad or unfun, but after you've played the original for like the 10th time like me, it starts to be a bit of a chore to play through the game. so this new gameplay style is really fun to play through. This gameplay style also clearly borrows a lot of inspiration from the likes of The Last of Us, and I'm fine with that since that's also an incredible game. Now in terms of gameplay outside of the combat, that's also massively improved here. As I mentioned, James now has the ability to dodge enemy attacks, and outside of that, James is very smooth to control, and exploring the town of Silent Hill is great here. The likes of puzzles are really fun to solve, with a lot of new puzzles added, alongside some familiar ones. Graphically, I mean, Bloober did an incredible job. While I did hear at launch there was some performance issues on PC, on PS5 the game runs great, and every environment is so detailed, from the likes of the fog to the monster we fight, they're all in such high fidelity and detail, in the best looking Silent Hill game to date. And well, the Silent Hill 2 remake's impact has been massive. It's kinda spawned a new generation of Silent Hill fans. I know from my own personal life, a few friends of mine have gotten introduced to the franchise via the remake, and are loving it. And while I personally do prefer the original, the remake is a great way for people to play one of the greatest video game stories ever told. It's also so nice to see Silent Hill be around in a modern context. Seeing Silent Hill and Resident Evil getting new game releases alongside each other, it's so cool to see, especially as a mega fan of the genre. And now looking forward towards the future of Silent Hill, what can we take away from the remake of Silent Hill 2? Well, for starters, as Konami have already confirmed, I think Bloober Team have more than improved themselves with this remake, and in my opinion, they should be in charge of future remakes, which they are, since it was confirmed they will be remaking Silent Hill 1, which I am so excited to see. I would also maybe like to see Bloober Team tackle their own original Silent Hill game, but one thing at a time. Now looking towards the Silent Hill 1 remake, what should Bloober Team keep from the likes of their Silent Hill 2 remake? Well, I think the combat and gameplay loop is a must keep. In my opinion, this is the definitive style that modern Silent Hill games should follow. I think this is just how Silent Hill games going forward should play like. Of course there is some caveats like Silent Hill F being melee only and a little different, but for the most part I really enjoy this style of combat and gameplay, and I'd be really happy going forward to see this gameplay style slightly improved upon in every subsequent Silent Hill game. Also for Silent Hill 1 remake, I think it's very important to bring back both Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka, as I feel they need to be assistant in their areas, especially since there will need to be a lot more work done in the area of monster design since the PS1 original was so limited. And hey, if Silent Hill 1 remake is good, fuck it, remake 3. Something I also appreciated in Silent Hill 2 remake was how Bloober really kept like everything. They cut out very little and only expanded upon areas, and I want that same design philosophy in the eventual remake of 1. To end off this segment, this game's impact on Silent Hill won't be forgotten, and I want to see Silent Hill be around for many more years to come, and I think we can achieve that due to the many accolades of Silent Hill 2 remake. To close off, Silent Hill 2 remake is an incredible survival horror game and a great remake. It really captures the vibe, story and essence of Silent Hill 2 original. While I do have some complaints here or there, largely this game was a labour of love and respect for the original game. If you somehow haven't played this game yet, whether it be because you were cautious upon launch and were unsure of the game's quality, or worried that Konami would mess up somehow, I get that. This game is well worth the money, and hey, it's regularly on discount, so if you can find it at a good price, that's even better. And if this is the only way you can experience the story of Silent Hill 2, well, let's just say, the only wrong way to experience this game is to not experience it at all. Silent Hill 2 Remake is an incredible game, and looking back on it after a year, I'm so glad this game exists. It's so important to me and the Silent Hill franchise. I have a lot of memories tied to this game, from picking the game up and getting some snacks, going home, getting cozy in my room and playing it all day on one of those, gloomy autumn days. This game is very special to me, and seriously, I can't wait to see what Bloober Team do with Silent Hill 1 Remake. If you haven't played this game, pick it up. And if you didn't like it on launch, I urge you to go back and give it a second shot. You may just change your mind. With that said, that's all I have to say for Silent Hill 2 Remake today. What do you think of Silent Hill 2 Remake? Do you prefer this to the original, think it's a fair remake, or do you just flat out dislike it? Let me know down below. Anyways, with that, I'll wrap up for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.
I don't think she's here anymore, James.